Welcome back to the channel, guys. Happy New Year to you. If this is your first time to the channel, my name is Levert Pompey Bennyfield. I am a team leader and a real estate agent here in the Las Vegas Henderson area. If you are looking for great information in regards to real estate, what's happening here in the Las Vegas area, you want to keep up with what's happening here in Las Vegas, make sure you subscribe below, tap that bell for notifications in regards to when our next videos are coming out, and we'd love to make sure that we get those over to you. Now, everybody has been putting out their 2024 forecast of the year, so forth and so on. So in this video today, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to give you a little bit of a recap of last year. I'm not going to be pulling out the graphs. I'm just going to be throwing numbers at you and all that kind of great stuff. So if you want to write those numbers down, I'm going to be referring to a lot of sheets, and you may see me pull up some cue cards and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to throw those numbers out there about last year, let you know what all that looked like. And then we're going to give you a little bit of a more of opinionated in regards to what may be happening for 2024 and how it may affect you, may not affect you, whatever it may be. But with that being said, guys, as we always like to say on this channel, let the show begin, because we're going to get after it right now. Okay, so jumping in regards to, let's just do a recap a little bit in regards to 2023. So when we look back at 2023, I did some notes. I wanted to look back as far as maybe even 2020 in regards to what's called our median home price here in the Las Vegas area. Back in 2020, remember way back then, 2020, COVID and all that kind of wonderful stuff, our median price here in the Las Vegas area was about $345,000. In 2021, we jumped up from $345,000 up to $420,000. That was 2021. And then November 2022, we finished the year at $430,999. Nice bits of increments in regards to value and everything else that's happening there. December 2023, our median home price here in the Las Vegas area was basically ended at $450,000. So from from 2022 to 2023, we had a year over year, meaning from last year 2022 to the new year 2023, that whole year, we had an increase of 4.4%. Now, in the beginning of 2023, what was happening out there? We had so many economists out there. We had so many YouTubers, everyone else saying that 2023 was going to be that year where we were going to tank. We were going to fall apart. We were going to drop in value. Everything was going to go to hell in a handbasket, so forth and so on. Now, whether or not people were really doing that in order for them to grab attention, grab headlines and all that kind of great stuff, I'm sure a little bit of that was there. We don't like to do that. We don't want to basically bring you guys information based upon fear or trying to get attention. I'd rather my like numbers and my subscribers be low, but you guys really get the value about what's truthfully happening. So you can make some really truthful and really honest decision in regards to what you and your family need. So we don't want to do that over the top headline stuff. We'll probably throw some factual things out there, like if we decide on what the name of this particular video is going to be, we're probably going to say something to the effect where the sales were down. And that's true. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. So we're going to speak to you about the truth, but we're not going to sit here and blow and throw you guys down an alley of fear in order for us to try and get your business. That's not going to happen. We want your business long term. We want to earn your business in that sense. So again, 2023 economists were going to hell in a handbasket. 70% of them were out there saying that recession is coming. Recession is coming. YouTubers, some of them, small bits of them that have huge followers, all that kind of great stuff, working on that fear aspect. Oh my God, don't buy real estate, so forth and so on. We are going to be down. Finish the year 2023 up 4.4%. That's higher than the normal 3.5% that you normally would get in a home. So again, higher than most people were saying out there. So factually speaking, what happened in last month of December 2023? We're going to talk about the sales, like I was saying earlier. Now, the sales 100% are historically low, are ridiculously down. There was an article, I believe it was in Inman News, where it talked about 49% of real estate agents. 49% of real estate agents did not sell one home last year. Did not sell one home or zero homes last year. That is crazy. It's heartbreaking. It's crazy. Yet at the same time, there's a lot that was happening for us in 2023 as far as the real estate industry was concerned with. NAR, the National Association of Realtors. We had a huge lawsuit that basically they didn't settle and pay out, but it did basically come down to about 1.3 or 1.2 billion dollars, a possibility of going upwards of 1.5 billion. Of course, there's some back and forth going on with that. There's going to be whether or not they'll settle, they'll try and change it and everything else. All of that's going out there. I'm aware of these things. I try not to pay too much attention to them. I want to be aware of them, but not pay too much attention to them because I want to stay focused and get things done for my clients in that sense. Now, again, December 2023, in regards to how many sales that we did last month, 1,234 homes were sold. 1,234 homes were sold. In December 2022, we sold 1,280 homes in December. So not a huge difference, but at the same time, a little bit of a drop in the sense of what we sold this year. Now, normally, if there's this such thing as normal in the real estate market, normally we sell just around 2,500 homes each month in December. Even with December being part of that seasonality, that period where sales are normally slow, normally we sell 2,500 homes. And we only sold 1,234 in December. That's more than half of the homes we did not sell that we normally sell. That is mind blowing. It's mind blowing. So yes, it's understandable why that Inman article came out. About 49% of the agents did not sell one home. 49 did not sell one home. That's craziness. No one can live off even the sale of one home. If your average home that you sell is, let's say 400,000, whatever it may be, I'm not doing the math correct here, and your commission might be whatever, 8, 9,000, 10,000. You can't survive off of $8, $9, $10,000. You've got to be able to make a lot more sales than that in that sense. So a lot of agents did not make sales last year, and a lot of agents left the business because they were not making those sales. I'll be very honest. HGTV, all these other places out there, they love to show agents making this great deal of money and so forth and so on. Not to say that the reality TV real estate agents are not out there working hard, whatever it may be, but everyone is not making the money like they're supposedly making on these television shows. We're not just making millions hand over feet. There are definitely those of us who are selling 25, 35, 50, 100, 200 homes, all of that. That is happening. We are doing those types of numbers, but we all are not out there. We are all not out there selling multiple homes. Again, in News, 49% of us did not sell one home. How does that affect you? You want to be very careful in regards to who you work with. You want to talk to us. What is our sales tracks? All of those kind of gets our sales records. What did we sell last year? Understanding that not just what did we sell, but when was maybe the last home that we sold? When was the last buyer that we helped? All of those wonderful things, because that information, that skill, that knowledge is going to help you have a greater and better experience in regards to purchasing or selling your property. We're going to make sure that we can basically get in there and we're going to negotiate on your behalf, save you money, not leave money on the table. You want skill working for you right now. So especially the agents like myself that are thriving in this current market, please take note of that. That skill, that experience from myself, from my team, from other teams, from other agents out there, that is going to be vital for you when it comes time when this market flips. And I do believe this market is going to flip. It's already starting to flip. Now, continuing a little bit in regards to the sales, continuing on that trend in regards to our sales. Last year, we sold, looking down at my notes here, 19,410 homes is what we sold last year. 19,410 homes. That's the amount that we sold in 2023, ending up here in the Las Vegas area. We're not talking nationally. Be very careful with that scenario as well. We've gotten in the habit of almost looking at more of our national numbers than looking at the local markets number. You really want to make sure you're speaking to an agent, speaking to a team that's the boots on the ground in that particular area, in that zip code, whatever it may be, that will really have that most updated information in regards to what's truthfully happening in that area. What is happening across the nation is it's relevant, but it is not always relevant to each area. We want to be very careful of that. Even here in the Las Vegas, Henderson area, Henderson Valley, there's going to be certain areas of our valley that are going to be different per square feet as far as what a property may sell for, what a property you may have to purchase that property for, all of those different types of things. It's going to be different. That's why our localized and the current temperament of the market, is important. What your friend bought their property for a year ago is going to be very different. What your parents bought their property for 15, 20 years ago is going to be very different. What your ex bought their property 3 years ago is going to be very different. What someone bought their property 3 months ago is going to be very different. That's why you really want to make sure you're speaking to a local expert in regards to someone boots on the ground looking at what is happening currently. That way we can help you in regards to what terms we should be looking for. We can help you in regards to what sort of incentives we should be asking for. All of those different types of things will help you understand the trends that are happening in the market, will help you understand what builders may be willing to do, what sellers may be willing to do, what buyers may be willing to cover. All of those different types of things will bring you the current, most updated information. Again, it could be very different from what someone experienced as small as even 2 weeks ago. This market can flip on us in a heartbeat. So again, when you have a lot of people around you helping you, giving you input, which you should 100%, but just make sure that you sit with your local expert and look at the data that they're going to help and bring you, so that you truthfully understand what the current market and the temperament of that current market should be, basically you should be asking for, you should be aware of, all those different types of things. So again, last year, sales. So last year, 19,410 homes sold here locally in the Las Vegas Henderson Valley. Now in 2022, we sold 25,394. Again, 19,410 2023, 25,394 in 2022. That is a decrease in sales of 23.6% year over year. So from 2022, when we had that 25, that high number 2534 or 394, we dropped down to 19,410 this year. 23.6% decrease in that regard. Now, historically here in this valley, we normally sell about 30,000 homes. 30,000 homes. 30,000 homes we normally sell historically. That is actually a 33% drop in regards to what we normally do here in the Las Vegas area. All of this in my brain, when I look at all of this, comes down to what you've heard, I'm sure, over and over and over. Inventory. It's inventory. There is such a historic lack of inventory right now that there isn't a lot of sales happening. So when people are saying, oh my God, the market's going to crash. Oh my God, we're going to be in this recession and so forth and so on. It wasn't so much that we crashed in regards to pricing. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but we'll talk about it a little bit more later. Pricing did not drop. We dropped in regards to transaction numbers. Our transactions numbers plummeted. Normally, we were at about 30,000. Last year, 19,410. That is a huge drop. So about a third of what we normally sell, we sold last year. Okay, that is, or we sold about 2/3 of what we normally sell last year. So that is a big drop in numbers. Okay, again, how does that affect you? Why is that concerning you? Why we should be aware of that? We want to be aware of these things because when that inventory is low, and our demand has still maintained a nice level, that demand has kept our prices up because inventory is so low. The inventory is so low. So many people still were willing to buy homes during this particular time that our prices still maintained. No, they didn't skyrocket through the roof. But remember, like we said in the beginning, we got up to 450,000 here in Las Vegas. We were in the beginning of the year around that 420-ish kind of number. 430-ish kind of number. So we still added almost $25,000 worth of equity in people's homes, even in this horrific transaction number going down market. Okay, so very important to remember that there's a difference between transaction numbers being sold and the idea that pricing plummeted. Pricing did not plummet. We actually went up again from 420,000 to 450,000 was what we ended up at the end of the year. So there was an increase in price at the end of this year. And just to clarify that a little bit more so we really understand it, again, normally we will a property could appreciate. You can expect anywhere from like a 3-4% appreciation in regards to a property each year. So with us going from that 428, 29, whatever number it was, up to us now at, I think we're at 400, just under 450,000. That's almost a 7% increase. That's a 7%. So we doubled that annual that we should be expecting, or that we were expecting each year, even when so many people were calling for a recession, even when so many people were calling for prices to plummet in 2023, we actually doubled. We went up 7% in value. So the value still is there. The pricing still maintained, but the transaction numbers held us or basically plummeted. I'm going to slip on my genie hat and give you a prediction in regards to what may be happening for 2024. Not so much. We're going to give you a little bit of my opinion in regards to what we're thinking 2024 is going to be doing in regards to sales, in regards to inventory, in regards to pricing, all of those wonderful things. I strongly believe, and I'm sure you've heard this as well, we basically did not have a lot of transactions out there in regards to inventory because so many sellers were able to take advantage of those great interest rates when we had them. They refinanced, they bought at a great interest rate. They bought in 2s and 3s and then below the 4s and all that type of thing. So the idea of them selling right now, selling such a great interest rate or selling their home, leaving that interest rate and almost doubling, if not, for some people, tripling what their mortgage rate would be, was not appetizing for anybody. They weren't excited about that. Why would you do that? Why would you go from 2 to 3, like we said, upwards to a possibility of like almost 8%? We got up to almost 8% as far as our interest rates. We are seeing those interest rates starting to come down. We'll talk more about that here in a sec. We're starting to see that number come down. So more of our sellers are starting to come into the market. But again, in 2023, they were not. They were holding off. They were waiting for those interest rates to come down. People that was buying, a lot of people are on the sidelines not wanting to use those interest rates, rightfully so, not wanting to use some of those interest rates because those interest rates were so high. However, again, like I said, experienced agents like myself, like my team, we were still out there staying in contact with people, building new relationships, seeing who we could be of service to, and we still were able to keep our transaction number up, our sales numbers up, because we were able to help those people that needed to sell, that needed to buy during that year of 2023. So a really big, important thing to remember, there are still people who were transacting with the high 8%, but at the same time, right now, because these interest rates are coming down, we're starting to see more of our sellers come into the market because that difference from their interest rate they currently have on their home is not as big because we're coming down to that 6. We're coming down to hopefully a little bit below 6. By the time it all finishes up. So that's going to be more of an incentive for people to get out there, to get back into the market. And we're starting to see that. So I think that's going to happen more around that springtime. No one really knows when it's going to happen, but I'm thinking the first adjustment the feds will probably make is going to be around spring. Be careful and make sure we understand what the Fed's adjusting rates looks like. The Fed's adjusting rates is not 1% of your interest rates. The Feds, when they drop a point, they are dropping a point, and that point equals 0.25. So it takes 4 Fed drops to equal 1 mortgage interest rate. So when they drop it once, that's 0.25. So it goes from 7% down to 6.7%, 6.7 and change percent, because you've dropped 0.25%. Then when you drop another Fed point, that goes to 6.5, so 6.5. When you drop another point, it goes down to 6.25. When you drop that other point, then you get your even 6. So 1 Fed point is is not the same as 1 mortgage interest point. So you need to take 4 Fed points to get you 1 mortgage. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I hope I explained that to you guys well. So again, we're going to see these rates. When we're going to see them, we don't know. When they do see them, however, we do know that more and more people are going to be jumping in. I'd encourage you, if you are looking to sell, if you're looking to buy, especially if you're looking to buy right now, get involved as soon as you possibly can. You're going to get the properties at a better rate. Why? because builders are willing to work with you right now. Sellers are willing to work with you right now. We're starting to see a little bit of that pullback from our builders. We're starting to see a little bit of that some pullback from the sellers. So you want to get in there when they're being more cooperative. When there's more buyers in the market, what does that do for competition? It pushes it up. It gives sellers more of an opportunity to be able to go in there and negotiate and select who they're going to be working with. So we want to be very careful in regards to not trying to time the market. It is a horrible thing if you want to sit back and time the market. If you have all your numbers together, if you have all your finances together, if you have all your wonderful emotions together, if you're ready, I would say jump in sooner. If you're buying, jump in sooner rather than later. For the sellers, I'd say most of my sellers are probably thinking after that after that sort of kind of May, April time frame, they want to get into that spring market. That's when they're hoping maybe the Fed has made one of their 25 point adjustments to get more buyers into the market. They get more opportunity to have more buyers look at their home and more people look at their homes. So that's probably what my sellers are thinking. I think that's a pretty good plan as well. Give it a little bit of time in regards to selling. Let's see what's happening out there. But if you're looking to buy, I would suggest you jump in there now, get a great price, and if and when the interest rates adjust, then you jump in. And if those numbers work for you as far as refinance your property. You've purchased the property at a great point, and then you could turn around and get your mortgage down by refinancing. I hope all of this has made some sense to you. In regards to what I'm really sort of forecasting, the genie in the bottle, looking at my magic globe, all that kind of good stuff, or my fortune, what do they call it? I can't remember the name of the people when they look at there is a gypsy. Somebody help me, give me a comment down below. But when we look at that, look at our globe there, what I'm seeing is going to be happening in the market. I strongly believe that this is going to be a market where we will see a small bit of increase as far as inventory. We're not going to be over flooded, but I do think inventory is going to increase. I do think that buyer demand is going to definitely increase, especially when we've had a couple of those Fed points adjusted. When they've dropped a couple of those Fed points, we are going to get a flood more buyers. That means more competition. I believe that strongly also says that there's going to be an increase in price. I believe that we just had an article that came out in regards to a few financial institutions stating their understanding of what's going to be happening for the forecast. And over the next 5 years, they're seeing nothing but our properties go up. It's a tough time out there. Prices are high. People are having a tough time affording the American dream. I totally get it. I hear you. I hear it. But if we are waiting for these properties to adjust, I just don't think that that's going to be happening. I'm sorry to have to say, I do not believe that that's going to be happening. Even if you have to buy a property, an investment property, hear me out on this. Buy a small investment property out of state if you can afford the area that you're living in. At least get your money working. Start building your money up so that you can take that money later on down the roads and reinvest it into a property. So at least you're in the real estate game. But sitting here waiting and demanding for this market to adjust and to get cheaper, I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. We're going to be jumping into an election year. Yes, they're going to be out there making things a little easier, painting the picture that things are much better, all those kind of great things. There are some politicians who are fighting to make sure that a lot of corporations are not up there buying up houses. Here in Las Vegas, they bought up a lot of different houses, all that kind of great stuff, affecting some of our first-time home buyers in regards to what they can afford and bringing their prices up. There are some politicians fighting, putting some things on the books, putting some bills forward, trying to get all of that taken care of. But please do not wait for someone else to make your dreams, your life, your reality, your reality. I want you to jump in. I want you to reach out to us. And if we can be of service, we would love to be of service and walk alongside you and be your advisor. So again, guys, make sure you subscribe. If this information has been valuable, subscribe below, tap that bell. Please share this video with someone else. The algorithm loves when you subscribe, when you say you liked it, all that kind of good stuff. It helps us out. We'd love to help you, and we'll see you in the next video.